Hello there, my beautiful souls. Welcome into another daily read, this time around for Friday. I hope you're doing well out there as always. But as you can see, we have a little bit of a different setup here today because I honestly tried but could not read in the spots that I've been reading in recently. So I was put in a spot where I had to switch it up a bit, all right? Get a little bit creative. And so I grabbed a few things and dragged it into the backyard, created this setup. And so here we are. We will see how it goes. Because I really can't even see if you can see the video clearly because it's so sunny. But anyways, we're beginning our daily read for Friday with productivity. And so this day is going to be quite busy for the majority of us, feeling as if it's time to feel motivated to get things done, to check things off our to-do list, if not multiple, to feel more ahead of the game by the time this Friday wraps up. But it feels like a period where you're going to be feeling things quite accurately, and I don't see that being new for the majority of you, but they're highlighting this as important because they may kind of slap you in the face is what I'm hearing. It just might be out of the blue, quite random, a bit sudden. It might even shock you when you gain these very, very clear, very honest, truthful feelings throughout the day. And so at certain rare points for the very plugged in souls within this collective, you might find that, some of those intuitive hits, those feelings of truth and realization are a gift from spirit. So it feels intuitive, and maybe even following it, you do have an intuitive confirming moment, but it's really a spiritual feeling, a spiritual moment, okay? But in the midst of this being a very productive day, I do see you speaking a lot, doing a lot of communicating while receiving different forms of important communication. People will feel like sharing things with you throughout this Friday. People will feel like simply associating themselves with you, while spirit wants to come through more than ever and give you certain levels, different forms of advice, assistance. Symbols and synchronicities will be popping up throughout this day. But I feel there's some sort of Queen of Swords energy coming through with these creepy scissors. Or are they scissors? Anyways, that's just how it's coming through. And so I feel spirit is saying this is a time where you hold that sword in a sense with that Queen of Swords energy coming through. You hold those scissors, however you want to look at it, feel about it. You're meant to be in the driver's seat in regards to what needs to be removed, minimalized, cut out temporarily and or in general, all right, in a more permanent sense. And so spirit is asking you what hasn't been working for you. What are you noticing more than ever or again throughout this day, if you've already previously noticed it? What's not working for you? You know what I mean? It's okay if something once worked for you and now doesn't, or you accepted something as positive or at least partially positive when at the very least at this point along your path, it's not holding that positive or bringing that positivity to your situation, all right? For a lot of which it has to do with your health. But there's something about sarcasm and being drawn to the word sarcastic and the word sweet. And they're saying you have the ability to be sweet and sarcastic, sweet and very jokingly coming across all the meanwhile. Anyways, as I struggle a bit, I do feel that this collective needs to think about their posture, about their physical body, as I do feel you're more concerned about your physical appearance. But what about how you're feeling physically? What about how your body is communicating to you? What is it saying at this time? What do you need the most? And what do you again need to cut out? These things are taking a highlight. But it also seems to be a day where, all right, the wheel is turning in your individual favor, and it doesn't seem like this is a new thing, but it feels to be super important to you. It's like your productivity very clearly is churning into progress. It's turning into rewards. It's giving you what you want, all right? And so it feels like this is a time period where spirit is saying, as long as you're willing to put in the effort, at certain random points you may not need to, but that's not the point. as long as you're willing to put in the effort to be that productive, motivated, driven soul with all this talent and wisdom from all you've been through, then it's in the bag. You know what I mean? It feels like there's something a long time coming for a lot. It's now moving, all right? It's moving in the right direction, finally. While I feel this is also a day to discover, all right? Maybe to discover more about, more of what you are capable of. But for a lot of which within this collective, I feel Friday is a day for you to discover more of what is meant to transpire outside of you, because it feels like you're more trusting in regards to your soul development than you are when it comes in comparison to your path and trusting the mystery when it comes to that. Does that make sense? And so even if you don't think that's the case, Spirit's saying we see all, we understand more than you do. And we have a different perspective than you do. I honestly feel like your excuse me, let me try that again. Your internal compass is coming in handy more than ever, while you can't help but feel as if you have a better head on your shoulders at this point, because you do. It's just a simple fact, or a complex fact for some. But it's almost as if, all right, I just saw a chair being risen, all right? You know how a computer chair, a swivel chair can be adjusted and, you know, risen higher off the ground? It was kind of that imagery while you were sitting in it, while they're saying as we adjust your throne to elevate you, to help people perceive you in the right, more powerful light, this empowered light, sit back in your throne. Sit back in your throne, my friend, and let us do what we're meant to do. While it is a day naturally, it's a day where you're naturally going to be productive and putting in the effort where you're meant to, where you want to, where you're supposed to. And so it feels like there's this nice combination that Spirit's helping you create between this productivity and this more so still or even adjusting kind of energy, like we were talking about with your throne, with that chair, where you're creating that powerful energy in that sense as well. All the meanwhile, I feel when you're productive, you actually are creating this empowered, very powerful, bold leadership kind of energy as well. But it's just different. You know what I mean? And they're saying even when you're sitting in your throne, I keep pointing because there's a chair over here, that's where it all stemmed from. Even when you are having these adjusting and or still moments where you're being pushed to sit back in your throne and things are being adjusted in your favor, I do see that as it's to be labeled as productive as well, just in a different way or different ways. I keep hearing you're golden, and there's something about the color green, the color orange, and the color blue. The color green, orange, and blue. Where I flow, I seem to attract in exactly what I want, okay? Because it feels like when you're holding yourself back from implementing or utilizing or being one with that flow, when you go against it even, you're finding yourself less easily attracting in, magnetizing in what you want. And the day really says, yeah, okay, you'll get what you need. But I feel this is more about what you want, like we've been saying. There's a huge focus upon that because you deserve more of what you want, and just accepting and trusting that your needs will flow in when they're meant to, especially because you're so connected to Spirit. But it feels like this is a time for you to remember that when you do trust in and create, and when you're one with that flow to the furthest extent, things flow in for you, right? It's like that flow of your energy within your current day reality creates the flow almost in an opposite sense. Does that make sense? Anyways, that wording was wild and repetitive. Secrets are going to be whispered to you. Secrets will be whispered to you, some of which feel necessary, some feel needed, useful, others feel random and useless, but not useless to them. It almost feels like a spirit may come through at a certain random point, if not a couple of different points for some, and whisper something that they went through or that they did, or something that they maybe have always wanted. And it just feels very personal to them while it doesn't really do much for you. But again, people want to share things with you. People want to share things with you. 1007, look up the angel number meaning 1007. But yeah, look at this, Page of Swords, Eight of Wands, and the Empress card, as well as the Ace of Swords. So yeah, it feels like a day where you're going to be learning what you're meant to, maybe what you want to. And I do feel like it's a time where information, knowledge is flowing to and from you, and all holds holds significance. Let's just put it that way. While I do feel quite drawn to the crown on the Ace of Swords, because it feels like you're meant to be gaining a better understanding, knowledge intake once again, while communicating this and that of importance. And in the midst of all of which, it's assisting with, and even otherwise, Spirit is putting that crown on your individual head, all right? In a sense, putting that crown on your energy all the meanwhile, and creating this fertile energy. They're saying in the midst of this productive wheel churning kind of day with a ton of communication in different forms, make sure that you are looking forward with extreme optimism. Make sure that you are accepting this honoring energy, this providing, gifting, deserving energy that is meant for you. All right? So those are your messages for this upcoming Friday. I hope they were truly helpful. I'm sending you so much love and light. Do take care.